Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we will take some exercises in the first two units, Unit 1, which is titled, Did You Hurt Yourself? And the second unit, which is titled, Take My Advice. All you need for the lesson today is your books on the first two units, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. Okay. So, as we have discussed before, in this semester or in this course, you're having 4 units. The first is titled, Did You Hurt Yourself? The second is about, Take My Advice. Number 3 is about, You've Got Mail. And the fourth and the last one, which is about wishful thinking. In today's lesson, we're going over the first 2 units, which are, Did You Hurt Yourself? And Take My Advice. How are we going to cover these 2 units? We are going to refer to the last part from each unit, which is the self-reflection part in your books, page 17 for the first unit and page 31 for the second unit. So you can refer to the objectives in there. So let's get started with the first unit, which is titled, Did You Hurt Yourself? Okay. At the beginning, we've discussed the idea of the use of because and so. All of them are about something that happened and we're having a result. One time we will speak about the effect, then the result, and the other time we will speak about the result, then the effect. So and because. So let's continue in here. I didn't want to wake up late. Then I used 2 alarm clocks. So use 2 alarm clocks, then the action not waking up late. So here I can use so. So comes when we're having the result, then we're having the action. 2. Jerry called the emergency number. Why? There was an emergency. Here we're having because. Emergency happened, so he called the emergency number. I put my hand under cold running water. Why? Because I burned my hand. At the beginning, he burned his hand, then he put it under cold running water. More people turned up than I expected. What did I do? So I cooked more food. At the beginning, I'm having too many guests, more than I expected. As a result, I cooked more food. The mosquitoes didn't bite me. Why? Because I had put on this repellent. So a lotion, I used it. When I woke up, I was okay. No mosquitoes have bitten me. Okay, this is about so and because. We're having an action. The result of the action is this. So this way we're going to speak about it using so or because. Then we've spoken about the use of so and neither. When we're using so and neither, what we're doing in here, we're actually making an agreement. Like I will tell you that I have never fallen. I have never had an accident. You will tell me that you too had the same idea. So you can use agreement saying yes, me too, whether using so if it is a positive sentence, or you will use neither if it is a negative. Negative, neither. So in here, number 1, I have never broken my arm. Never. So here we're having, is it a positive or negative? It is actually negative because we're having never. So I will use neither. Neither have I. I have used these 2, the subject and the verb, and changed the order. How about the second one? We're having here, I had a long vacation last summer. You will tell me that you had a long vacation last summer as well. So you will use so or neither. Positive. So we will use so had I. We have used these 2, which is had and I. So had I. So am I, based on the sentence. Number 3. We are going to watch TV tonight. What are you going to do tonight? You will tell me, I am going to watch TV tonight as well. So you will tell me that so we are. We have used the subject and the verb in here. Just changed the order. I often hurt myself when I use sharp knife. When I use sharp knife, I hurt, I cut my finger. You will tell me that you do the same, you usually do. So here you will use so do I. And because this one is a verb in the present tense, you will use do. Past, you will use did. If it is hurts, so it will be does. Okay? This is to show agreement. You will tell me that me too or we too. Then we've discussed the use of modal auxiliaries, which are must and should. It was on page 14. We use must and should for different situations. Must, we use it if it is a law or a rule, something that you have no option to do it. However, for should, it is much more optional. Like when we're speaking about the road signs, we have to use must. However, if it is something that is optional, you would use maybe going to the doctor or seeing a friend, you will use should. So number 1, pay attention to the road. Let's use must. We pay attention. If we use must, so we will say we must pay attention to the road. Notice that we have used must and followed by pay attention. It is the base form of the verb. Don't fall asleep at the wheel while you're driving. Must. Drivers, then we will use mustn't fall asleep at the wheel. Notice here we have used must, the negative, mustn't, and the verb is in the base form of the verb, which is fall. Mustn't fall. 3. Ask the driving instructor for advice. Let's use should. It is advice in here. Then we will use should ask the driving instructor for advice. Notice the verb here. It is actually in the base form. Don't sit in the front seat. Children, do not sit in the front seat. We will use should. So, children should not sit in the front seat, and sit here is in the base form. So, you're not going to choose whether should or must. You will use it. However, the verb that follows will be sit. We're having pay, drive, and ask, the base form of the verb. Then in here, let's use the modal auxiliary must or should to form sentences using based on what we can see in the picture. Let's try to describe it. We're having here someone who's driving the car. He is not fastening his seatbelt, no seatbelt. He's using his phone. Someone is trying to cross the road, however, he's not paying attention. Let's give 2 to 4 sentences using must or should. We will say that he should wear his seatbelt. No seatbelt, so he should wear. Should, and we have used wear. Number 2, one more thing. He mustn't use his cell phone. Must not use his cell phone. Then we can tell that he should watch the road. Pay attention to the road. He should watch the road. So should, then we will use here watch or pay attention. He should be more careful. He should follow the road signs or the road rules. Then we're having here the use of adverbs of manners. The use of adverb of manners are actually, we're having that one part of speech is the adverb. If we're looking at this picture, we will say that what is he doing? What is the action? Can you tell me about the action? Is he eating? Walking? No, we will say that he is driving. Look at the action itself. How is it done? How is he driving? The action, he is driving carelessly, dangerously, not carefully. So, we're having here the use of carelessly. Carelessly is the adverb that is part of speech that describes what comes before, which is the action. It describes the verb. How did you do in the exam? I did well. You're describing the action. How do you feel? I feel well. How did you write? I wrote carefully. or correctly. Okay, now how can we use these? We're having here a conversation between Bob and his mom. All of these we're having fast, and the others we're having here as well as we're having careful, and the others. All of these are adjectives, and you are supposed here to change them into adverbs. The mom will ask her son, will say, so, did you have a good lesson? Bob will answer, oh yes, I spent an hour driving. Of course, I didn't go fast. Let's change fast into an adverb. Fast will be fast. Fast is an irregular adverb. Fast will be fast, hard will be hard, just like good will be well. I didn't go fast. I listened careful. Listened how? Carefully. Notice that we have added an ly to the instructor. He explained everything in a clear way. He explained everything clearly. How to control the car. Then I drove the car or drove it in a safe way, safely, back to the school. What must you do now? Bob answered, I must try hard. Hard is an irregular adverb, so try hard to learn the rules of the road. Then I am sure I will pass the test in an easy way, easily. So to change an adjective into an adverb, usually if it is a regular adverb, we will use an ly. However, for the others, like hard or fast or good, we will change it or it will remain the same. Okay, then the use of the prepositions of place. And here we're having some prepositions of place. If I ask you here a question, where is the bank? We're going to look to and study the map. Here is the bank, and we're going to compare it into the post office. Here is the post office, and we're having a street here in the middle. So we can tell that the bank is across from. It is across from, face to face, and we're having a street in the middle. Next, the pharmacy is the post office and the movie theater. Let's look, this is the pharmacy, and we're having here the post office and the movie theater somewhere in the middle. When something is in the middle, what would we say? We'll say that it is between. So one on the right and the other on the left, next and next to. So we will say it is between. The hospital is 2nd Street. Let's check the hospital. It is in here, and this is actually 2nd Street. So we will say it is on 2nd Street. Speaking about streets, you will use on. The police station is the bank. Where is the police station? It is here is the police station, and we will compare it to the bank. Notice it is just side by side. So we will say it is next to the bank, next to it. Then the train station is to the restaurant, where this is the train station and this is the restaurant. You can walk from here to there, so we will say that it is near. If you can walk, it is a walking distance, so you can say that it is near. However, if speaking about the shoe store to the train station, it is far from. Not very close. Maybe you need a bus or you need a car to go from one place to the other. So it is far from. Then the use of imperatives, which are telling people what to do and or not to do, to give directions. Let's try to read these road signs. The first one, we're having a P and a cross, so it is don't park. The second one, we're having here a road sign and stop. It means stop. Then an arrow going to the right and only turn right. And the last one is actually, it is do not enter or don't enter. So we're saying don't enter, you're telling people not to do, or do something which is park in here, turn, or go straight. So we're using the imperative, and the imperative is actually the base form of the verb. Okay. The following, the Unit 2, was about Take My Advice. We have discussed some common problems. Some common problems like when we're speaking about getting along with friends. Someone who's a new student in the school and he or she feels alone. I can't get along with friends. I feel lonely. What can I do? The other problem is that we've discussed is the idea of healthy eating. Some people are eating too much junk food and other people, and then they will be overweight. Other people will eat nothing and they will avoid food, so they are anorexic and they will be underweight. Then we've discussed the idea of keeping fit. So what is the idea of fitness? To be strong and healthy. How can you be strong and healthy? You will eat well, feel well about yourself, and sleep well. Okay. So in here, asking for and giving advice, we will listen to people telling us about their problems and they will ask us for advice. Then we will use the model auxiliaries to give them advice. This boy is telling us, what should I do to lose weight? He's telling us that he is overweight. He is overweight. I want to lose weight. I am gaining weight. I want to lose weight. What advice can you give him? For me, I will tell that you ought to exercise, work out, go to the gym. Ought to. Also, I will tell him you shouldn't eat a lot of junk food. Eating junk food, just avoid junk food. Should not eat junk food. Also, I will tell him that you shouldn't avoid food. It's not the idea of you are going to avoid junk food that you will eat nothing. No, you should not avoid food. It is dangerous to avoid food. You will be anorexic and you will feel sick. Also, we're having this friend. What would she tell us? I am feeling down, not feeling happy. She's sad and I don't know what to do. Let's try to give her advice. I feel sad, depressed, and blue. What advice would we tell her? I will tell her that you had better see a consultant. Ask someone for advice. Someone who's older than you, someone who is a specialist. Ask someone. See a consultant. Or you could keep up with social activities even if you don't feel like it. Keep up. We're having here, you could keep up. Just go out, meet friends, socialize with them. What have we used in here? We used had better, as well as we have used could, followed by the verb keep on and see, the base form of the verb. Okay? Then the use of modal auxiliaries. We've covered could, should, and ought to, and would as well. These are the modal auxiliaries to give advice. We have used them to give advice. Here in this example, we're having already the modal auxiliary. All you need is to come up with 2 sentences for to give advice for the issue in here. What is the problem if you're looking here? Someone went out, then he or she will tell us, it is too cold today. It's very cold. It is getting to 0 degrees. This is the problem. Let's use ought to. If we say ought to, you ought to wear a warm jacket. Ought to. Notice we have used ought to followed by the base form of the verb. Then let's use the negative. What is the negative of ought to? It is you ought not to. You ought not to go out unless you need to. You ought not to. Okay, the following. What is the problem in here? He had his test results, however, he got a low mark or he failed. Let's use should and the negative of should. I will say that you should study harder. Should study harder. Also, the negative shouldn't. You shouldn't waste your time. So should study and shouldn't waste. Okay, so these they are. The following, the use of had better, which is the strongest way to give advice. Abdullah is really upset. He's not feeling good. He failed his driving test. Let's use had better for him. We will tell him that he had better take the test again. He had better take the test again. How about I keep putting on weight, gaining weight? I am really worried about it. Let's use had better. We will say that you had better take up a sport. Also, you had better not eat, let's say, junk food. Let's say here, we will speak about the idea of junk food. You had better not eat junk food. Okay. The following, we have spoken about the use of 2 or 3 word verbs, which are like turn off, give up, or throw away. Based on the meaning, you will choose the correct answer. He had to driving when he started having a trouble with his eyes. Stop. He had to give up. Stopping something is to give it up. You need to or give away all things that you no longer use. If you don't use them, just throw away or give away. Please the lights and lock the door when you leave. What do you do with the lights? You will turn off the lights or turn the lights off when you leave. Then we've spoken about the quantity expressions and the question words, speaking about count and non-count noun. Non-count just like water and the count like apples. So, to tell that we're having a good number, you will tell, I have many apples, I can make an apple pie, and either I drink much water, which is enough. You can say that it's not enough, a few apples, and a little water. And you can use for both of them a lot of and lots of. For both of them, for whether count or non-count nouns. Let's use them in these sentences. Water do you drink every day? Let's ask a question. Here we're having water as an non-count noun. So what do we use? How much water do you drink every day? Just I need to drink more water. Not enough. I will say a little water. Hours do you sleep? 1, 2, 3, or 4. I can count them. So how many hours do you sleep every day? Just a few because they are countable. A few hours. I'm counting the hours. Maybe they are 2 or 3. I need to sleep more. Then we're speaking about forming a clauses with when. How do you feel when you were having a toothache? How do you feel when you're having a toothache? A pain on your teeth. How does it feel? We need to use an adjective here. I feel terrible. I feel sick. Maybe I feel bad or sad. I feel ill. Any adjective would work. How do you feel when you are about to meet a friend? Tomorrow you are about to meet your friend. How would you feel? I will tell that I will feel excited, happy. Maybe you can say wonderful or glad. How would you feel when you need to say goodbye to a friend? Saying goodbye or it's a farewell. I will feel sad, terrible, or bad. When as well. What do you do when? Now we're having an action. What do you do when you have a headache, pain in your head? What do you usually do? Maybe you will say, I will take a painkiller, take a medicine, relax, see a doctor. What do you do when you have a sore throat, a pain in your throat? It's not coughing. Maybe I will drink warm tea, take a medicine, or see a doctor. How about when you feel sleepy? You didn't sleep yesterday very well and today you're feeling sleepy. When I feel sleepy, I will go to bed, relax, maybe I will take a cup of coffee. These are, and it is based on your reaction, you will come up with a verb that is suitable in here. Okay, I guess that is it for the lesson today, and thank you so much for your time.